and welcome back to the Hero English Podcast. I'm Jordan, and I'm here with the amazing Riley.
Hi, everyone. It's great to be back. Today, Jordan, we're diving into a big topic, family and children.
Ooh, that is a big one. It's something everyone has an opinion on, whether you have kids or not. We all have a family, after all.
Exactly. We'll be talking about parenting, childhood development, and the values we learn. We have some fantastic new vocabulary for you, like upbringing and milestone.
And we have a super useful hero phrase that you can use in almost any conversation, not just about family. It's all about finding a balance.
That's right. It's a phrase I use almost every day. We'll listen to a dialogue, break down the language, and even look at some cultural differences in parenting.
So whether you're a parent, an uncle, an aunt, or just interested in talking about life, this episode is for you. Ready to get started, Riley?
I'm ready. Let's jump in and explore the world of family. All right, let's start with our first word, upbringing. An upbringing is the way a child is raised and educated by their parents.
So it's about your whole childhood experience, right? Not just one or two things.
Exactly. For example, you could say, she had a very traditional upbringing in the countryside. Or, my parents' upbringing was very different from my own.
Okay, I see. So I could say, my upbringing were very happy. Is that right?
Almost. Upbringing is a singular noun, so you should use was. My upbringing was very happy. Great sentence otherwise.
Ah, got it. My upbringing was happy. Thanks, Riley. What's next?
Our second word is nurture. To nurture something is to care for and encourage its growth or development. It's often used for children, but also for ideas or plants.
So it's like helping something to become its best self.
That's a beautiful way to put it. For instance, good parents nurture their child's creativity. Or, the teacher's job is to nurture a love of learning in her students.
Okay, that's a great word. I used to say something like, parents must nurture their children good.
That's a very common mistake for learners. Since nurture is a verb here, we need an adverb to describe it. So we'd say, parents must nurture their children well.
Right, nurture them well. I'll remember that. What's our last word?
The last one is milestone. A milestone is a significant stage or event in the development of something. For a child, big milestones include their first steps or their first word.
I love that. It's like a marker on the road of life. My nephew just started walking, and it was a huge milestone for the whole family. We were all so excited.
That's a perfect example. You could also say graduating from university was a major milestone in her life. Or the company celebrated the milestone of reaching 1 million customers.
So if I was talking about my nephew, could I say learning to read was a big milestone of his development?
Very close again. The correct preposition is in. So learning to read was a big milestone in his development. Think of it as an event happening inside that larger process.
Milestone in his development. Got it. Upbringing, nurture, and milestone. Great words to know.
Hey, Anna, do you have a minute? I wanted to talk about Leo's screen time. I feel like we're being a bit too strict.
Really, Tom? I thought we agreed that a structured upbringing is important. Our parents were strict with us, and we turned out okay, right?
We did, but times have changed. I don't want to crush his curiosity. We need to nurture his creativity, not just limit his activities.
I agree we need to nurture it, but I don't think an hour of tablet time is the way. What if we signed him up for that weekend art class instead?
That's a great idea. He loves drawing. It would be a much better way to channel that energy. I just worry we focus too much on rules.
I hear you. Look, he just hit a huge milestone last week. He read a whole book by himself. Our approach can't be all bad.
You're right. That was a major milestone. I was so proud I almost cried. I guess I'm just anxious about getting it right.
Me too. But Tom, remember what we always say?
It's all about finding a balance between rules and freedom, between screen time and creative time.
Yeah, you're right. Finding that balance is the hardest part of parenting, I think.
So, art class on Saturday, and maybe we can allow a little extra screen time on Sunday if he finishes his reading? It's a delicate balance, but we can manage it.
I like that plan. It feels more balanced. See? I'm using the vocabulary already.
Very good, Tom. Now let's go tell Leo the good news about art class.
That was a great dialogue. Now let's expand on some related phrases. First up, family values.
Family values. I hear this a lot, but what does it mean exactly?
It refers to the core beliefs and principles that a family considers important to teach to their children. Things like honesty, hard work, or kindness. For example, in our family, honesty is a core family value.
That makes sense. My family's biggest value was probably always finish your dinner. Is that a family value?
It can be. It shows a value of not wasting food. A common mistake is using it in the singular, like a family value is important. We usually say family values are important because it's a collection of ideas.
Got it. Next phrase?
Next is quality time. This is time that you spend giving someone your full attention. For instance, I try to spend quality time with my kids every evening with no phones allowed.
So just being in the same room isn't quality time if you're both on your phones.
Precisely. The quality part is key. People sometimes say, make quality time, but the more natural collocation is spend quality time.
I used to just say good time, so quality time is more specific about attention.
Yes, exactly. Last one, role model. A role model is a person who serves as an example of behavior for others to follow. For example, many parents want to be a good role model for their children.
My older brother was my biggest role model growing up. I wanted to be just like him. Is it okay to say he was my model role?
Good question. The order is fixed. It's always role model. It describes the type of model they are, a model for a role in life. So, my brother was my role model. These phrases will really help you sound more natural when talking about family.
And now it's time for our hero phrase. This is the one you can use everywhere. Today it's all about finding a balance.
This phrase is fantastic. It means that the most important thing is to have a good mixture of different elements, not too much of any one thing. Let's look at how to use it. Imagine you're at work.
Okay, my colleague asks, how do you manage to finish all your work and still leave at 5 p.m.?
And you could reply, it's all about finding a balance between focused work and taking short breaks. It shows you have a strategy.
Nice. Now, what about a casual situation with a friend? My friend says, you eat so healthy, but you also eat cake. How?
You could say, hey, it's all about finding a balance. A little treat now and then is fine. This is probably the most common way you'll hear it.
I like that one. Okay, a more formal situation? Maybe in a meeting?
Sure. If your boss asks, should we invest in new technology or train our current staff? You could say, I think the key is to strike a balance. We can invest moderately while upskilling our team. Using strike a balance is a bit more formal.
That sounds very professional. So other variations are the key is to strike a balance, or like Anna said in the dialogue, it's a delicate balance.
Exactly. Or even, we need to find a middle ground. They all communicate a similar idea of moderation and compromise.
This is so useful. Okay, everyone, let's practice the main phrase. Repeat after me slowly. It's all about finding a balance.
Again, it's all about finding a balance. One more time. It's all about finding a balance.
You know, Riley, when I listened to Tom and Anna, they spoke so naturally. It was a little fast, and I had to really focus to catch everything.
That's a completely normal feeling, Jordan.
Native speakers often link words together and have a certain rhythm. That's why we're going to listen to the dialogue again, but much more slowly.
Why does listening slowly help so much?
It gives your brain time to process the sounds, the vocabulary, and the grammar. It also helps you hear the intonation, the music of the language. You can hear where the stress falls on words like upbringing and milestone.
Ah, so I can really hear the individual sounds and how they connect.
Exactly. We encourage all our listeners to try shadowing. That means you listen and repeat each phrase right after the speaker. Don't worry about being perfect. Just try to copy the sounds and rhythm.
Okay, I'm ready to try shadowing. Let's listen to the slow version.
Hey, Anna, do you have a minute? I wanted to talk about Leo's screen time. I feel like we're being a bit too strict.
Really, Tom? I thought we agreed that a structured upbringing is important. Our parents were strict with us, and we turned out okay, right?
We did, but times have changed. I don't want to crush his curiosity. We need to nurture his creativity, not just limit his activities.
I agree we need to nurture it, but I don't think an hour of tablet time is the way. What if we signed him up for that weekend art class instead?
That's a great idea. He loves drawing. It would be a much better way to channel that energy. I just worry we focus too much on rules.
I hear you. Look, he just hit a huge milestone last week. He read a whole book by himself. Our approach can't be all bad.
You're right. That was a major milestone. I was so proud, I almost cried. I guess I'm just anxious about getting it right.
Me too. But Tom, remember what we always say? It's all about finding a balance between rules and freedom, between screen time and creative time.
Yeah, you're right. Finding that balance is the hardest part of parenting, I think.
So, art class on Saturday, and maybe we can allow a little extra screen time on Sunday if he finishes his reading. It's a delicate balance, but we can manage it.
I like that plan. It feels more balanced. See, I'm using the vocabulary already.
Very good, Tom. Now let's go tell Leo the good news about art class.
Jordan is a curious student, Riley a patient native speaker sharing stories and contrasts. Riley, talking about upbringing makes me wonder, are parenting styles very different around the world? For example, between Western countries and Asian countries?
That's a great question, Jordan. There are definitely some general differences, though every family is unique, of course. In many Western cultures, there's a strong emphasis on fostering independence and individuality from a young age.
Right, like encouraging kids to make their own choices and express their own opinions.
Exactly. Whereas in many traditional Asian cultures, there might be more emphasis on group harmony, respecting elders in academic achievement. The family unit is often seen as more important than the individual.
That sounds familiar. I remember my parents always told me my grades reflected on the whole family. There was a lot of pressure to be a good student, not just for me, but for them.
That's a very common experience. I have a friend here in the US who was shocked when her son, who is 7, said he wanted to quit piano lessons. Her first instinct was to let him choose.
Wow. I think my mom would have said, absolutely not, you will continue piano.
Right. My friend's own mother, the grandmother, felt the same way as your mom. She thought my friend was being too soft. So you see these cultural differences even within the same family.
So one focuses more on nurturing personal happiness, and the other on nurturing discipline and a sense of duty.
That's a good way to put it. But today, with globalization, these styles are mixing more and more. Parents everywhere are trying to figure out how to raise successful, happy kids. Ultimately, it comes back to our hero phrase. It's all about finding a balance.
It's time for our listener question. This one comes from Chen in Beijing. Chen asks, I want to talk about my childhood in English, but my upbringing was very strict. How can I describe it without sounding too negative or like I'm complaining?
That is an excellent and thoughtful question, Chen. It can be tricky to talk about difficult experiences in a new language. My advice is to use balanced and neutral language.
What do you mean by balanced language?
It means acknowledging both the challenges and any potential benefits. Instead of just saying, my parents were too strict, you could frame it differently. For example, I had a very strict upbringing, which was difficult at times.
Okay, that sounds softer.
Then you can add the balance by mentioning what you learned from it. You could continue by saying, but it taught me a lot of discipline and self-control. This shows you have reflected on the experience and can see both sides.
So you're not ignoring the negative part, but you're also adding a positive outcome. It makes the story more complete.
Exactly. It shows maturity and makes for a much more interesting conversation. You're sharing an experience, not just making a complaint.
So to summarize for Chen, don't just say it was bad. Explain how it was strict, and then share something you learned from it. It's about showing the whole picture. Great advice, Riley.
All right, Jordan, are you ready for a quick quiz to test what we've learned?
I was born ready. Let's do it.
Question 1. What do we call a big, important event in a child's development, like their first steps?
Ooh, I know this one. It's a milestone.
Correct. 1 point for Jordan. Question 2. Fill in the blank. Good teachers try to instill a love of reading in their students.
They try to grow? I'll say nurture.
Yes, nurture is the word we learned today. Well done. You hesitated, but you got there.
Whew, okay, last one.
Question 3. When you want to combine discipline and freedom in parenting, what is it all about?
It's all about finding a balance. That's our hero phrase.
A perfect score. Great job, Jordan. Now it's your turn, listeners. Answer the questions out loud. How did you do?
And that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us on the Hero English Podcast.
We covered some really useful language for talking about family and children. Remember those key words: upbringing, nurture, and milestone.
And don't forget our super flexible hero phrase. It's all about finding a balance. You can use it for work, health, hobbies, anything.
For your homework this week, we have a simple challenge. Try to use that phrase 3 times. You can say it to a friend, write it in a journal, or even just say it to yourself.
Practice is everything. And if you enjoyed this episode, please consider following or subscribing wherever you get your podcasts. It helps us a lot.
Join us next time when we'll be talking all about food and cooking. It's going to be a delicious episode. Until then, keep practicing.
Bye, everyone. Happy learning. You know, Riley, all this talk about nurturing made me think of something funny that happened last week.
Oh, I love your stories. Go on.
So I was trying to explain the concept of nurturing talent to my friend who has no kids and also apparently no plants.
That's a dangerous combination.
Right? So I said, it's like having a delicate little plant. You have to give it water, but not too much water, and sunshine, but not too much sunshine.
That's a pretty good analogy. What did he say?
He just looked at me with a completely straight face and said, "So you're saying I should put my employees in a pot and leave them by the window?"
Oh my gosh, no, that is not the takeaway.
I completely lost it. I was laughing so hard I couldn't explain it properly. I think he still believes nurturing talent involves soil and fertilizer.
Please, for the sake of his future employees, send him a dictionary. Or maybe just a cactus, something that requires very little nurturing.
A cactus? That's a great idea. The perfect low-maintenance role model.